Chelsea here from So Simple Home. Today I'm sharing with you this month's Creative Girls Club kit. Now if you aren't familiar with the Creative Girls Club, this is a fun monthly kit club designed for girls ages 7 to 12 years old. Each month she's going to get 2 fun, easy to follow projects right in the mail. These projects will teach her new skills like painting, drawing, beading, stitching, and so much more. And the best part is all of the materials and supplies are included in each of the kits. That means you don't have to go from store to store finding all the supplies that you need. Everything's right there in the mail. Now, the Creative Girls Club kit has a guarantee. That means if you aren't completely satisfied, you can cancel at any time, no obligation. But I know she's really going to enjoy and love these projects. They're fun, kid tested, and they're really, really great. My 7-year-old absolutely loves them. So today's project, we're going to make this woven tote bag. It's a really fun project, and we're going to show you some tips and tricks on how to get that tote bag strap nice and braided and attached really well. So let's get started. Today we're going to make this woven tote bag from the Annie's Creative Girls Club. You're going to get all the supplies that you need, including 2 needles and a clip, both of which you're going to use for putting it all together. We are going to focus on the strap and tips for braiding it and making that process a little easier. So to make the strap, we're going to take the paracord that comes in the kit and put them together. So you get 3 colors, you get green, orange, and red. And paracord is pretty sturdy, so it's a great way to create a strap. We're going to put the 3 ends together, just like this. And then the best way to keep them together, I found, is to add a clip. And this clip comes in the kit. It's a great way to keep that cord in place so that you can sew the sections together. So we're going to take our embroidery floss and we're going to actually separate the sections. So if you aren't familiar with embroidery floss, it comes with several sections of floss on one piece. So we're going to kind of separate those. We're going to take 2 of those sections and kind of pull them away from and separate them from the floss. Once we've separated it, we're going to go ahead and thread our needle. And this might take a little bit. Just thread it through and then tie a knot at the end. Now we're going to take our paracord and we're going to thread our embroidery floss through all 3 sections of the paracord. And we're going to thread our needle back the way we came through all 3 sections of the paracord. This way we're combining the 3 pieces together, kind of finishing the edge. So when we go to actually attach the paracord to our bag as a strap later, the braid won't come apart. So we're going to go back and forth on this paracord about 3 times each way. And that's just going to give it a really strong fix. I'm just going to finish up here. Now that I'm on the other side, I'm going to create a loop with my needle at the end. You can kind of see this little loop. I'm going to put my needle through that loop and pull. And that's how I'm going to tie it off with like a little knot. I'm going to repeat that one more time because I feel like 2 knots is better than 1. It's a little bit tighter. And now you're going to see that those 3 pieces of paracord are nice and sewn together. And I'll just clip my threads off and I'll be ready to go. So I'm going to keep the thread on my needle because I'm going to use that again on the other side of my paracord when I'm done with my braid. Now I'm going to grab the clip again and I'm going to put it on the ends of the paracord so that I can be ready to start braiding. A little tip is to take a piece of painter's tape or masking tape to tape your clip down. It'll help keep the paracord in place while you're braiding. Now you have 3 sections of paracord, 2 outside and a center. You're going to take the outside and loop it over the center. Now the red is the new center, so I take the orange and loop it over the center. Orange is now the center. I take the green and loop it over the center. You kind of see you go back and forth with your pattern, and that tape sticking down just helps you kind of keep the rhythm because this cord is really long and takes a little bit. I'm going to speed up the process for you. I now have my braided paracord all together. And you'll notice I have some left over. We just decided that the strap was going to be way too long if we kept going. And that's something you can decide. But it's easy to make the strap shorter. You just cut where you want and then have an adult take a match and take that to the end of the paracord, and that will just keep it from fraying and falling apart. So that's a little tip. Don't you do that. Make sure an adult does. Now I'm going to take my clip and I'm going to put it at the end again of my paracord so my 3 sections are together. And I'm going to repeat what I did on the first section. I'm going to take my needle and embroidery floss, tie a knot at the end, and I'm going to thread it through the 3 paracord sections. Thread it one way, and then I'm going back the other way. And I'm just going to continue that on until I get to the opposite side each time. So 3 goes through my paracord on each side, and that'll just keep it nice and tight. I'm just clipping my threads, and now you can see both sides of the paracord are finished off nice and tight. They're going to stay together so that braid doesn't come apart. We're ready to do the next step. So here are my paracords with my finished tote bag. I've sewn the sides of my tote bag and just with some embroidery floss, and now I can put my paracord inside the bag because I don't want it to be seen. So I'm going to open up the bag. I'm going to find that side seam that I sewed, and I'm going to put the strap or the paracord right into that side seam. Let me give you a little closer look. So here's a little closer. Here is my paracord strap. I'm just going to tuck it in close to that side seam that I sewed by hand. Then I'm going to take my embroidery floss. I put it on the small needle and put a knot at the end. I'm going to pick up a section of the tote bag, just the back. I'm going to thread it through the 3 layers of braided paracord. Then I'm going to take that needle and go through the opposite side of the tote bag. So it's going to be able to pick up all of those layers together so it'll be nice and tight. Okay, right now it's going to be a little loose, but I'm going to go back through just like I did on the paracord where I went back and forth. I'm going to take that needle, I'm going to go through the last side, go through the sections of paracord and then back to the first piece. See how I did that? And just make sure your embroidery floss doesn't pick up anything else. And that's just going to keep it tighter. And I'm going to repeat that several times, probably 3 times. You can move down the paracord if you want, or you can stay in the same spot. It really doesn't matter. It's going to help either way to keep your paracord in place. So once I get back to the opposite side, I'm going to tie it off. So I'm going to take a section of the bag and a section of the braid, and I'm going to loop it and pull. So I'm just making a little knot similar to how I did it on the paracord. I'm going to do it a second time because again, I think 2 knots is better than 1. And there you go. Now I can just clip that thread. And then you can see how nice that braid is attached. So that bag isn't going to break the strap. So now I'm just going to repeat that same process on the opposite side. And there you go. There is my bag. Now I just need to finish it off by adding my tassel, and my tote bag is all done. So there we have it, our finished tote bag. Doesn't it look great? We have this fun braided strap that we put together, And we added the tassels, we sewed up the sides. This is a great project, lots of hand sewing, so it's a great beginner sewing project. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure that you click to subscribe to Annie's Crafts right here on YouTube to get more fun and inspiration. And if you're ready to join the Creative Girls Club kit, make sure to click the link in the description. We'll see you next time.